biography is so important is because it directs the rationale. It informs the rationale. Think to yourself, Barack Obama's rationale 4 years ago. I haven't been in Washington for long, but I'm running for president because I've been there long enough to know the ways of Washington must change. So what is the essential element of his biography? The fact that he's an outsider. When John McCain talks about a proud and prosperous country, what element of his biography is he talking about? He's talking about his service, both in the military and in political office. When Romney talks about bringing this country back, number one, he is running as a challenger. But if you go a little bit further into that language, he's running as someone with private sector experience who knows how, at least economically, to bring this country back. And when Barack Obama announces a rationale, as I just framed for you, not as a prospective candidate for president, but as an incumbent running for re-election, he's essentially saying is we're all in this together. And he's saying that on the basis of the biographical experience he has had over the last 4 years. So your biography, it may be mentioned overtly in your rationale, it may just be implied. But if your rationale is the most important part of your message, your biography is the most important part of your rationale. Let me just reiterate. If your rationale is the most important part of your message, your biography is the most important part of your rationale. As an educator and as a parent, I'm running for governor of California to create a better future for our children. As a lifelong resident of the state of Wisconsin, I'm running for Congress to bring Midwestern values to Washington, D.C. As a member of our local police force and a member of our neighborhood watch committee, I'm running for city council to make our community a safer place for our families. It's not always stated, sometimes it's implied, but the way I help a candidate come up with his or her rationale is in the following manner. So look back in your biography, look back in your personal and your professional and your political life experience, and see if you can identify that one experience that more than anything else made you decide to run for office. Just think about it. Running for office is a really weird thing to do. Running for office is a really unusual thing to do. We're asking you to stand in supermarket parking lots, asking perfect strangers to sign petitions about things they don't think they care anything about. We're asking you to go door to door, knocking on strangers' doors, to give them see if they'll give you just a minute of their time, so you can tell them something about yourself. We're asking you to call or meet with every single friend, relative, or coworker over the course of your entire life and ask them for money for your campaign. There's nothing wrong with that, because it means you want to serve. It means you're putting yourself in the arena, and that is not only admirable, it's noble. But it's not particularly normal. So if it's something that you're considering, there's clearly something that made you decide you wanted to do it. Maybe you are a parent who is worried about the quality of education their children are receiving. Maybe you're a small business owner who's frustrated spending evenings and weekends working on filling out paperwork and dealing with red tape. Maybe you're a social worker or a welfare caseworker who's genuinely frightened about the lack of services available to the people who you're serving and who you care about. Maybe you're a law enforcement officer who doesn't think sufficient resources are being devoted to protecting the safety of the people in your community. But whether it's from your personal or your professional or your political biography, there is something that made you decide to take this step, or made you decide to seriously consider it. And given the reason all of you are in this room, I'm going to make the educated guess that not for all of you, but for many of you, even if you're interested in economic issues, even if you're interested in environmental issues, even if you're interested in public safety and healthcare issues, my guess is you have more than a passing interest in doing something to make California's system of K-12 public education work more effectively than it currently does. And so you think to yourself, was there a particular student? Was there a particular parent? Was there a particular teacher? Was there a particular experience? Was there a particular day in the classroom that made you decide you wanted to take the step? And whether you stated it out loud or not as part of that one or two sentences, that's the fundamental basis for your rationale. And so what I want to do, not to make anybody feel self-conscious who wasn't thinking about this when they wrote their biography, I'm going to ask a couple of you guys to read your biographies out loud. And what I'm going to ask the rest of you to do is listen to those biographies and based on your own experience, help our two guinea pigs come up with a rationale for their candidacies. So, no pressure. Who wants to volunteer? Excellent. And remind me.
Lauren Gregor.
Sorry?
Lauren Gregor.
Lauren, good for you.
So just.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm Lauren Gregor. Should I say like an office?
No, because you're not. This isn't a speech yet. All you're doing is reading the biography that you put together.
I grew up here in Los Angeles, and I'm a graduate of LA Unified School District, and I currently live now with my husband and my dog in the house that my father grew up in. So hopefully one day I'll send my kids to the same schools that my father went to however long ago. Since moving out of high school, I was a teacher in New York City, and since then have helped manage a nonprofit organization and been a policy advisor for the Los Angeles Unified School District. And in addition to that, I've been a community organizer and have done a lot of giving back as a mentor for students in my community, and have been an advocate for school choice and parent voice in education.
Wow. It's a pretty busy life so far. All right. So Lauren grew up here in LA. She's got a husband and a dog. And it's to your credit that you named them in that order of importance. You live in the same house that your father grew up in. That's wonderful. You've taught. You've been an education advocate. You've been a policy advisor, a community organizer. It's pretty good personal and professional and political biography. Lauren, here you are. You're right on the verge of deciding whether or not to run. And this is a totally unfair question to ask you, but that's okay. I don't mind. Is there anything out of those biographical experiences that sort of stands out more than any other that has made you think about the importance of running for office, or is it more this cumulative total?
I'd say it's cumulative, but probably advocating for school choice and parent voice in education has been.
Why?
I worked for charter schools, and I don't necessarily believe that one school is better than another, but I believe in quality educational opportunities, and I think that parents in their community should have the right to decide where their children get to go to school for a good education.
I don't know about you guys, but I think we just nailed it. My name is Lauren, I'm sorry?
Gregor.
My name is Lauren Gregor, and I am running for office because I want to make sure that parents have are able to choose where their children go for a quality education. Now, I stumbled around on that a little bit, but it sounds like we got another consultant.
But isn't that an issue, actually? Wouldn't that be like a very specific issue?
Well, let's think about choice. Choice comes in terms of charter schools. It's something you can talk about in terms of teacher preference for what a child studies in a particular curriculum. Charter schools is a particular issue. But choice, maybe we want to take a broader verb. Tell me your name again.
Chris.
Chris. So maybe we want to take a broader verb than choice. Do we want to empower parents? Do we want to put parents in charge? My name is Lauren Gregor, and I am running for office because I want to put parents in charge of their children's education.
That's good.
Lauren, I think your rationale just got stolen. Now, once again, we're doing this on the spot, and there's plenty of time to think and reflect. But speed it up and do something way faster than real time, and that's a pretty good example of how this process works. How does it really work? Lauren and her advisors, and her husband and her dog sit down together, and they talk these things over. And they tweak words, and as you'll hear in a minute, they think about how this rationale manifests itself into a theme, talk about whether or not it's worth directly mentioning an aspect of her biography, or just implying it, thinking about the issues that will fit under it. But at least for a real-time example, my name is Lauren Gregor, and I'm running for office because I want to put parents in control, in charge of their children's education. Who wants to try another one? Everybody looks terrified. Excellent. Okay, you are actually turning around, which is not gonna happen. Tell me your name
Okay.
again.
Helen.
Helen, you're on.
Okay. My family and I immigrated from China to New York City when I was a child to pursue better opportunities. I am a student of the New York City public school systems, but through work study and loans, I was able to achieve a private college education. I work in nonprofits, in education nonprofits, as well as in the corporate sector. I focus on talent management strategies for companies that are interested in growing in emerging markets. Talent development and community building has always been really important to me because that's really what I achieved when I came to America, being able to develop as a person. But as I go through life, I've seen that those same opportunities are not necessarily the same for everyone. So that's what brought me into Teach for America, to become a teacher, so that I could play a role in the education of America's future.
Can I ask you one question, just for clarification? I'm the only person in the room who's not going to know the answer to this question. Can you tell me what talent management strategy means? There's a bumper sticker. I'm not sure it's ideal, so we'll
that's definitely corporate jargon there. It's really about helping. It's really about development of people development. So HR, how do we grow?
Okay. All right. So now let me ask you, Helen. Once again, pretty impressive set of accomplishments in a fairly short amount of time. Anything in particular out of all those experiences that motivates you more than the others?
Definitely my experiences as an immigrant
How
in
come?
America. Well, it's been really defining. I think I have been in a unique position where my family came with not very much, and throughout our time here, my brother and I have been able to achieve quite a bit. We both have jobs, we both got college education, and all of this while my mom still is not literate in English. So I travel back and forth in two different worlds. America kind of allows people to do that. It's one of the rare countries that allow people to do that. Does everyone have that right now? No, but can that access exist? Yes.
Wow. Well, you've got about 30 top-notch political consultants here. And you want to help Helen take those biographical examples and help turn them into a rationale for candidacy? Any ideas?
I think the idea of just equal opportunity for all comes up just in a very strong sense from your immigration background, and then your the things you've actually done speak to that background and what you want to achieve.
My name is Helen. My name is Helen Chan, and I'm running for office because I want to provide equal opportunity for all. I think we're off to a good start there. Let's take.